He was always up against it from minute one. The way it ended with Maresca and then Liam coming into the football club with a connection from Strasbourg. So people said straight away he's going to be a yes man. I knew he wasn't a yes man. I'm with Tom. I played with him at Hull City. And I went into an interview and a few things that came out, he felt as though he was supported. Anything was possible with this football club. And they can't keep changing. There were three things that I left and thought, right, this is longer than the short term. And now what, within 23 games, yes, the last 8 games have been a disaster, albeit that one win against Port Vale, demolished against PSG, and the results in the Premier League, no goals in 5, losing all of those. And like Tom just said, when you put in a performance like they did last night, and a team goes above you for the Champions League, and this football club, we've always known, certainly from my time playing, we're winning Champions League, Premier Leagues, FA Cups. So when you get into a run of not winning football matches, could always be a possibility. Did I think he would get to the FA Cup semi-final on Sunday? Yes, I did. I thought he would be given a chance because the hierarchy, the people who make these decisions know what Liam Rosenior is all about. And I'm a big fan of him, still early days in his coaching career, and this is a huge setback for him. He would never envisage getting sacked before the end of the season. Never in a million years did I think it. But Merce, who sits on the show, always said if you don't get results at Chelsea, you're always under pressure.
Yeah. And
5 Premier League defeats on the bounce, and they've acted quick. Who have they got in line? I'm not too sure. It's interesting that going into a semi-final, I think the players must have gone. They have down tools, and they're going, right, the hierarchy now go, we make the decision. If he's still in charge, we've got no chance of beating Leeds on Sunday. And they've acted, and unfortunately for Liam, he'll lick his wounds, and I'm sure there will be teams out there to give him another opportunity.
This ownership came in, though, they very much declared that they wanted it to be a young project, and sort of all the players that were brought in are young. They're all on massive lengths of contracts. The coaches that they've brought in are young. All the experience that they had in the club has exited, because I'm not whether they don't like being challenged or whether they genuinely do believe you can win with kids. You can't win everything with kids, and with inexperience, you do need some maturity through the club at some point. Cucurella and Fernandes, experienced players, the only probably 2 experienced players that Chelsea have got, stitching him up in the last few weeks by calling out the fact that they basically love Maresca. Well, they weren't doing that well under him. I think Maresca's a fine coach and a good coach as well. But this policy at Chelsea, this plan, I don't see it. These 6-year, 8-year agreements that you see, it's almost laughable from the start. Whether it be for a manager or a player, the owners haven't got a clue what they're doing.
And you say that as an owner as well,
Yeah, well, yeah, and I've made massive mistakes as an owner, but they haven't got a clue what we do. Sometimes you've got to accept that. You know, I've publicly spoken about the challenges that we've had, but they're all over the place. And look, I just don't get it really. I think you deserve what you get in football, and that's every single ownership. And it's a reflection upon them, it's not a reflection upon the coach, who, to be fair, probably shouldn't have been advanced as quickly as he was into the role. He should have been left to develop his career, a promising young coach, someone who, to be fair, is a lot thought of. And you don't turn down a Chelsea job, you don't turn down a big job like that. I can see why it was appealing, but the reality of it is, like I say, he just needs to get on with his coaching career now and sort of put it behind him as quickly as he possibly can, because like I say, it's a club that at this moment in time is a little bit crazy in its decision making.
Is when we was hearing all the noise throughout the club when they signed Liam Rosenior, and all those pundits and people was questioning, thinking to go from Strasbourg to go to Chelsea, it's too much of a big club. But they was talking about he knows he's played in the league. He knows how the club, the bigger, wider project is, because it's a club that's underneath Chelsea, and we sort of believe the hype a little bit. And as a coach, I think he's fantastic in terms of the transitions and the rotations and stuff. I saw bits to his game where I thought, actually, I can see it. But at the end of it, it was Chelsea Football Club, and the gap was too big. And what I'm more disappointed in, after all the briefings and stuff before, that they've not stuck with him in his first, but then in his interviews, he started playing up to the media, which has not helped him.
What do you mean by playing up to the media? Because
he's given them too much.
Yeah, but if you're a head coach and you've got League Cup semi-finals, FA Cup, Premier League, okay, European, you can't help but talk to the media all the time.
The huddle, respecting the ball.
Okay, right.
What is that? That's nonsense for everyone. We know what social media is like nowadays. Every little detail Everything is scrutinised, and I don't think he helped himself in that aspect, which then brought more pressure to him and then the players.